You're welcome to the sports segment here on the AM Show. My name is Benedict Osu. It's a Tuesday morning. Well, yesterday we saw how Cameroon lost to Canada in the Women's World Cup. We'll show you highlights this morning. Also, we'll talk about what other teams are doing in terms of their preparations to the Africa Cup of Nations. And of course, we have to start from the camp of Ghana, and was massive disappointment for 5 players who failed to make Coach Kwesi Appiah's final 23-man team for the Africa Cup of Nations yesterday. Now, Abdul Majid Waris, Yawiyabua, Mohamed Al-Hassan, as well as Abdul Fattah Shafiu and Ebenezer Ofori were omitted from the final team. Well, Yawiyabua, who was hoping to make the final cut, couldn't hide his disappointment.
It's part of life, you know, and also it's part of football. But what I want to say is I want to thank everybody, the management, the nation, for giving me this opportunity to be here. It's not easy to be part of the senior national team squad. I mean, playing under these wonderful players, you know, Samoa-Jan, Ayu, Okaso, Achu, all these big players that have big names in Africa, in Ghana. I mean, for me, it's a pleasure to be here playing with them, to learn a lot from them as well. And playing under a coach, a wonderful coach like Kwesi Appiah, former player like Tanko, and all this management with big names in Africa and also in Ghana. Being part of that, it makes me feel special because it looks like I'm being under good people. And sometimes when you're under good people, things goes really well for me. But I just want to wish my colleagues all the best in this tournament. Our prayers are behind them. And for me, it's not over yet, you know, because I still got a U23 to qualify to 2020. And then for now, I'm focusing on that now to get them there, because it's been a while that Ghana qualify. And then I'm praying that everybody get their best game in this African Cup, and hopefully we can bring the cup back home, because that's what we all deserve. That's all the country, our motherland, our parents, everybody is waiting for, you know. So, I mean, something to cheer us up in Ghana, you know. And I just want to use this opportunity to say that they should support us. You know, we're all praying for the players as well. I mean, I'll be so happy, like, even though I couldn't make it, and then we bring the cup back home, and then we're all going to celebrate together. So, I mean, we came here to support them, and then we are not out here. Like, being out of this tournament doesn't mean it's over for us. Our future is still bright, as everybody saw it. And we still believe ourselves, you know. It's like a young player if you set a target.
So that was Yawiyabua, one of the players omitted from the final 23-man squad. So it will be on the screen. I'll take you through the goalkeepers, as well as defenders, midfielders, and the attackers, also known as forwards. So for the goalkeepers, the 3 goalkeepers that were named in the provisional team finally are also in the team for the 23-man squad. So Richard Ofori, Lawrence Atizigi, and Felix Annan. Richard Ofori plays in South Africa, Lawrence Atizigi in France, and then Felix Annan, the only local player or the only home-based player in the team. For the defenders, we have John Boy, who is based in France, and the Yadom in England, Abdul Babaraman in France, Lumo Agbenyeno in Turkey, Kasim Nuhu in Germany, Jonathan Mensah in the US, Joseph Edu in Belgium, and then Joseph Atama Lawe of Turkey. For the midfielders, we have Mubarak Wakasu of Spain, Thomas Partey also of Spain, Kuja Samoa of Italy, Thomas Japan of Scotland, Efiyakwa of Italy, Andrea Yu of Turkey. He was with Fenerbahce, Christian Achu of England, and then Samuel Owusu of Serbia. We have the attackers, Asamoah, who until joining the Black Stars played for Kayserispor in the Turkish league, Jordan Ayew of England, Caleb Ekuban also of Turkey, and then Kwabena Owusu, based in Spain, plays for Salamanca FC. So if you look at the squad, Kwabena Owusu, Samuel Owusu, as well as Thomas Japan are going to make their first Africa Cup of Nations. Also, Felix Annan, Lawrence Atizigi, these guys are going to be at the Africa Cup of Nations for the very first time, and Joseph Edu and Atama Lawe. So the regulars being Richard Ofori, Mubarak Wakasu, Thomas Partey, Kuja Samoa, Efiyakwa, Andrea Ayew, Christian Achu, John Boy, Baba Rahman, Jonathan Mensah, and then we have Asamoah, Jordan Ayew. The rest of the players are going to be at the tournament for the very first time in their career. All right, so that's the Black Stars list, the 23-man list, which Coach Kwesi Appiah released yesterday for the tournament. But Abdul-Majid Waris was one of the players that was omitted in the team. He was not part of the team that was announced yesterday. Well, my colleague Baba Tando has more in today's edition of the Joy AFCON Minute.
The controversy surrounding the Black Stars team are far from over. The latest player who will have an axe to grind with Coach Kwesi Appiah is Majid Waris. Reason? Reports from Ghana's camp base in Dubai arrived that the FC Porto striker, together with 4 others, found out from the internet about their axing from the final squad more than 5 hours before communication was officially broken to them. Could there be a mole in the camp of the Black Stars, or it was just a communication gaffe? Well, either ways, this sets the tone for juicy exclusives only with Joy Sports during the AFCON. Follow the hashtag JoyAFCON on social media. Salam.
All right, so that was my colleague Baba Tando with today's edition of the Joy AFCON Minute. Well, back home, this very Sunday will be the first semi-final of the Normalization Special Competition Tier 1 between Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. No need to go back and bore you with everything that's been going on with prior to this semi-final. But one football administrator, Odru Safo, who is with Brukum Chelsea, would have wished the match where it should have been played, or he says the match should have been played at the neutral ground.
So in the main regulation, Article 1117 states that the GFA shall determine the venue. So if I were part of the committee, I would have advised that we should apply common sense, not to disadvantage. Hearts and Kotoko are the 2 most glamorous clubs in our country, and then you cannot disadvantage one to the other. So if I were part of the competition committee, I would have suggested that we play that game in Second D, while we play Ashanti Gold and then Karela at Accra Sports Stadium. But they thought it otherwise, and I was very sad when I heard that the NC have cut off their 30% and giving Kotoko additional 10%, making 40. I'm not against Kotoko getting 40, but I'm against the modus of operandi that the NC replying Kotoko's letter on the 3rd of June, telling them that we wish you would have played the competition, but if it is still your decision not to contest, not to play, we wish you well. How can you write such a letter and then 2, 3, 4 days time you come and then change your stance? It doesn't augur well for an organization, and it's setting a precedent which will use in future against them.
A bit of NBA before I take leave of here. The Golden State Warriors still have a chance to win a 3rd consecutive NBA title after defeating the Toronto Raptors 106-105 last night. Now the Raptors were looking to close out the series at home and win the franchise's first NBA championship. Instead, Raptors guard Kyle Lowry missed a title-clinching shot in the closing seconds of the game, sending the series to Game 6 at Oracle Arena in Auckland on Thursday. The Raptors lead the series 3-2. The Warriors' victory came at a price. Star forward Kevin Durant left the Scotiabank Arena on crutches after injuring his right lower leg. I'm Benedict Husu, that's how we end sports. Thanks so much for watching. The show continues after this short break. Don't go away.